Okay.
Okay, let me tell you what today's topic.
We had a topic.
Well, you may fight with me on this one.
Oh God. Whenever
I
you
got
start with that,
I got a bone to pick with women.
I'm here for it because I do too. So what we talking about?
Okay, all right. So I love my wife,
Of course.
and 9 times out of 10, she's golden.
Mm.
9 times out of 10. But I got this one point, and I think it applies to a lot of women.
Mm.
So I had this discussion. It was an argument, a discussion with my wife, and I said, I'm tired of being put second.
Mm.
I'm tired of the kids coming first. I'm tired of your job making you tired. I'm tired of all these things that get in the way of our fun together.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to stop. And she always has good excuses like, I got to work. I got the kids. I'm like, man, forget all of them. Forget all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, if you got to take a couple of hours back, quit.
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
I'm no longer wanting to come home and not have the following things.
Mm-hmm.
When I come home, I want your undivided attention. I want you ready to have a good conversation with me because I need to rejuvenate. I need to know why I'm out here fighting.
Right.
I need to know why I'm out here fighting. And like these kids, no longer allowed in our room.
F them kids.
Period.
Yeah.
I'm like, and she's like, well, I'm like, hire a nanny. I don't care, but they are no longer taking my time with you.
Right.
If I want to cuddle, we're gonna cuddle.
Right.
If I want to talk, we're gonna talk. I was like, I respect you enough. I ain't gonna ever put you in a position where you're gonna be uncomfortable. So get that out your head. I want free, full reign access to you, and I want it now.
Mm-hmm. You said it like that? That's pretty passionate.
I did. I said last night.
Okay.
And so we had the dopest night ever.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Like, you put your foot down. Okay.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I'm so tired.
Yeah.
Of trying to figure out if you okay enough to give me some time and attention. And I'm so tired of settling with, even though once again, she is the dopest woman I've ever had. Like I trust her to death. She can have everything of mine. So I care less. She deserves and earned everything I have and more. And I'm willing to give her everything. But I like her. You know what I mean? Like, I really like her. I like hanging with her. I like spending time. And it vexed me to my core when I got to share it with someone else. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't think you're wrong at all. I don't. I think we women. So I think because really everything is catered to us.
Right.
We lose sight of what we are supposed to be contributing to with our men. You all are all the providers and protectors and all of that stuff. So we just benefit from that so much that we don't really take the time to consider that, wait, I'm supposed to be providing something for him too.
Other than your body.
I
could. If that was the only thing I lost, but I got the rest of you, I'm good for the rest of my life. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like, shoot, that is not my only recourse and benefit. Because if that's the case, you can't give it to me enough to satisfy.
Right. That's real.
And I deal with marriages all the time, and it all keeps boiling down to that.
Yeah.
Every marriage, like first time they're having a problem. Well, we haven't been intimate in 6 months, a year. I'm just like, how does that happen?
So let me try to take you through a little journey for a second, right?
Yeah, help me.
So like you and I have had a conversation. I don't know if it's gonna help or not though, but you and I have had a conversation about relationships, particularly marriages in other cultures that look different from how ours does in the West.
Yes.
Okay. So
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah. Okay. So a part of my thought, okay, my theory, this is Jesika theory, okay, that we in the West, we struggle with that, I think, give and take, I'll call it. So much so is I think we approach marriage totally fucked up. I think it's totally wrong in many regards, unlike many of our, I'll say, counterparts or whomever in the East. So I think they understand that marriage comes with roles and responsibilities. Yeah. Whereas we're kind of getting away from that, or have gotten away from that. Or there's like this duality, this blurred line of what those roles and responsibilities looks like, so much so that nobody really knows what's theirs and what's theirs. So it's like with some other cultures, they're not necessarily, like pinpoint one, but the man knows my place is I give you a home, I take care of the bills, and yours is you have sex with me whenever I want. You take care of these kids. You have my dinner waiting for me when I come home, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. We'll look at that and be like, oh, but what about her? Or, her feelings and her needs. And what about it? I think that what about it got us fucked up over here.
So I do believe, because we used to have it, but then somehow we've made it look uninviting.
Exactly.
We made having different roles. And with that, so we hone in on the worst parts of it, but we threw the baby out with the bathwater. Because there is a beauty in harmony in your home. I want to come home and I want to have my wife.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know that I have something I'm coming home to. I don't want to have another dependent. I don't want to have someone who's going to challenge me, who's going to fight with me, who's going to disturb my peace. I want someone who's going to build with me. It's like, okay, what are we building today?
Right.
What are we doing today?
And I don't think that's too much to ask, but I think like where we kind of get it wrong is that men, at least for us, over here, y'all care too much about trying to make your woman happy.
I was scared last night.
Yeah.
Because so it's been a couple of days I've been saying, I got to say something. And I got to be proactive, because it's not like we have a bad marriage.
Right.
We have a great marriage. So I don't want it to turn bad. So what I got to fight? How do I have to fight this? And I was nervous. I was like, man, I don't know if she's going to like how I'm going to come, but I got to come this way.
It's necessary.
Because it's necessary. I'm not saying I don't like you and I'm angry.
Not at all.
Go do something. I'm telling you I want my time. Yes, and I'm greedy.
Yeah.
I want it. I've been wanting it.
Right.
And luckily, once again, that was one of the rest.
Right.
Took it well.
Good.
Matter of fact, I messed up because we had a conversation to the middle of the night, and she's just like, okay, you want to talk? Let's talk. I'm going to share with you. I fell asleep.
Good for her. Well, I think that's... Oh, when she actually does give you your time and you fall asleep? Oh, okay, okay.
But we had, at this point, talked for hours. And, I was trying to stay up, and I should have just said, babe, okay, thank you. I got to go to sleep.
Right.
But she was like, and I woke up this morning, she was like, you fell asleep on me. And I was like, well, what should I do? She was like, I need you to stay up. I said, what I got tired? She was like, you gotta let me finish.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That could be tough, though.
She's like, you gotta let me finish. So I'm thinking, so now I'm realizing, maybe those times where she wants to give me herself, but she don't think I can handle it. So she keeps it to herself. And if I can show her I can handle it by just staying up, instead of laying down and talking, I may need to pull a chair
for
up.
real. Yeah. Yeah.
You need to pull a chair.
Yeah, we can't talk in the bed. Yeah.
Nah, we ain't talking about, or you can lay down in the bed and I'm going to sit beside you.
Right.
But this is so important for a couple to learn how to do.
It is, but I think it starts with y'all. It starts with the man. So like one of the things I think that you told me a while back was something to the effect of, and if I butcher it, please correct me, that men are like the thermostat. They control the temperature. Yeah. They control. And so that's what you did. You controlled the environment. You controlled the atmosphere by stating your needs. Yep. So, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And this came about in how we disciplined our kids. So my girls, it's summertime, and they got all their requests. and they don't care what it takes for us to make it happen. They just want to make the request. No, and I'm okay with that. I tell them, hey, write your request, submit it. I'll let you know if it's
not write the request. They can't just tell you.
Nah, because they come too quick, and they'll blur together, and I'll say yes, and they think I said yes for everything, and then they want to hold me accountable.
Got you.
But you said yes. I'm like, no. Then now we got to go through this. You're a liar. I'm not a liar.
Bruh. Okay, so you say, write it down. And I'll write you back something. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Especially big requests. Yeah. But so those are particular requests my daughter wanted. She wanted to go to the fair Thursday. And Wednesday, because they had a half a day. So she had to go to school for a half a day. And then she needed to go home to get ready. And then she wanted to be at the fair for it. My wife was still at school because she's a teacher. So it fell on me to get it done. And they're trying to coordinate my schedule. And I'm like, yo, I got clients. I got drive. Here's what I can do. And I gave them the times I could do it. It was a little out of their time frame, but they're sitting here trying to figure out how to make it work for my daughter. And eventually I said, listen, I'm going to tell you, I need you to listen. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen.
Right.
Either you agree or you just
don't go. Simple.
And my wife's there, so like, hold on, babe. I'm like, no, this is done. I don't want to hear no more about it.
Yeah.
Or I'm not doing anything, and I'm the only one that can take you. So you need to listen up clearly. I says, I'm gonna pick you up at this time. I'm gonna take you home. I'm gonna pick you up at this time. I'm gonna drop you off. Period.
Yeah.
Now go to your room.
Done.
Or let's cancel. She turned her little butt around, went to her room, and it was settled. And my wife was like, oh, I feel the pressure off of me. I was like, those never should have been pressure.
Never, right, okay.
Like, you
we run this.
Yes. And that's when the thought was like, man, John, you've been letting your
these little people
run itself.
Right, yeah. These little people who ain't putting in on none of this.
And I'm thinking about all these other couples, and I'm like, I really believe these men have checked out.
Yes.
To their own detriment.
Yes. So how would you reel them back in, John? Because I mean, I've said this, and this is a harsh truth and maybe an uncomfortable truth. Y'all the bulk of the problem that we are experiencing, men. So what would be the advice to the men?
I would say, don't be afraid to, I'm trying not to use a strong word.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to dictate the direction of your home, even if that means losing things that refuse to you. But you have to dictate the pace, because the only way the home can be complete is only way everybody can be happy is if the head leads. Right. If the middle leads, the head is not going to be happy. Right. If the tail leads, the middle and the head is never going to be happy. So the tail can't lead, the middle can't lead, only the head can lead.
Agree. And I'm going to add something to that from a woman's perspective. So I'm going to start with you all. What you all want oftentimes more than anything is respect.
Yes.
Right? And simple. What men don't realize is often, I guess, when you all cater so much to us and to our feelings and all of that, it's actually causing us to not respect you. Like, a lot of women aren't going to acknowledge that, because I think it's just our wiring, right? So I think deep down inside, we want that. We need that. I don't want to use that word dictate. Right. We need maybe what structure, that guidance. I think it's just the natural orientation from the Most High. We need that from you all.
Yes.
And when you don't give it to us, even when we get our way, okay, we secretly, subconsciously lose a little respect for you guys. Yeah. And it'll show up in other areas, and y'all will pick up on it.
I've seen it.
So yes, absolutely.
I want to stay there a little bit longer, because I think those who may listen to this really need to understand, because it's not coming at those that you care about. like you are a dictator,
Nope,
or like you
it ain't that.
are, some drill sergeant. But it's letting them know that you have the bigger picture in mind.
Correct.
That you're not going to let them. They can make all their requests in the one in the world, but you see what they need, not just what they want. And you know how to manage both.
Yeah, you're juggling it all. Yeah, manage is the best word. Yeah.
You know how to manage it. And so they learn to trust your management.
Correct.
More than they trust getting what they want, because they're getting what they want and then they see you hurting. Then yeah, you do look weak.
You do. Yes.
Look weak because the only way they can, because they want what they want, and the only way they can get is by hurting you.
Right.
Eventually they turn off that sensitivity to hurting you.
We do.
And they only focus on what they want.
What
it's
we want.
normal to get what I want at your peril.
Yes.
It becomes normal to get what they want at your
peril. And then I will start, as a woman, I will start to stop asking you for your input. And I would just start taking the lead. And it'll start, with little decisions, right? Because, I don't trust you. That you ain't even holding that place. You keep yielding to me. So then I'm the one that's in charge anyway. So,
right.
And again, these are not deliberate, intentional, conscious thoughts that we're having, decisions that we're making. It's just all of that subconscious, stuff. So yeah, we got to.
So, okay. So then I'm trying to think, what is the mindset now that men need to take if they want to save their marriage, rebuild their home? Do they come in and like, yo, I'm cutting heads, or do they come in and, sit down, everybody down, and say, let me inform you that
there's a new sheriff in town?
Yeah. Because see, and sometimes, I have to have a coming to Jesus meeting with my kids. And I was like, yo, just because I'm nice, don't think they ain't a monster in me. Just because I ain't yelling at you and knocking your head off when you come talk to me sideways, don't think that I ain't capable of doing it.
Right. So I would think, depending on, like the type of structure that man has with his family, yes, perhaps a meeting, to share his thoughts with these little people, and his wife. But I think more than that would probably be the man deciding for himself and understanding for himself who he is, what his role is here, and really what he's trying to accomplish from it. Like I would never encourage, say, like any man listening to this and, you go home today, it's just like, you just throwing a hammer down, just because, I'm a man. Like, no, don't be stupid. Right. But know that you serve a purpose, and that the little people and, your women need you to step into that purpose. For everybody's well-being. Right. But you're going to have to probably spend some time with yourself to really learn why you hadn't been, and resolve that maybe so that you can fully show up. Right. And then just start being confident and comfortable enough in making those decisions, knowing that, it may hurt them a little bit, but I can deal with that. Yeah.
Being comfortable making them uncomfortable.
Yes. That's the best way to put it.
And one at a time. Just take one situation at a time and come in and say, hey, let them see how you handle the ball.
Yeah.
Like with my daughter and cleaning her room, she decided that we bought her this whole bed set. She decided to throw it away one day. She didn't like it. And then put her bed on the floor.
John, I don't know how you grew up, but I'm starting to question it, because what I would have been the floor. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me preface this. My middle daughter had some challenge.
Okay.
When she was little, she didn't like wearing clothes because she has
I don't like wearing
sensory issues.
Okay, understood.
She has sensory. And there are times where things bother her, and it's not normal, but it just bothers her.
Understood. Yeah.
And so I do have sympathy.
Absolutely. As you should. I would too. Yes. And I apologize.
I do have sympathy for her. But what she should have done is talked to us and allowed us to come up with some solution that worked for her instead of just saying, I can't take this no more, and then pull everything apart and then find her own solution. And so this has been a few months that she's done this. And eventually I finally talked to her and figured out what the problem was. The furniture we had was, we thought it was beautiful. It had like the headboard was wood with like a carpet inlay, you know, with the like felt inlay, and the same with the headboard, the footboard too. And she didn't like it. She didn't like the feel of it. She didn't like, you know, laying on the bed. It was too high, like just too many sensory issues that was bothering her. And so that's why she got rid of it. So what she really wanted, or what she really needed, was just a low platform with no headboard.
Yeah, somewhere simple. Yeah,
something simple to get her bed off the floor. You know, so she could put her shoes on her bed. We can organize the room a little bit better. And so I decided, hey, look. Now that I know what you need, we're getting you off the floor. And she's like, I don't want to go. Like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
I'm not letting you lay on a mattress on the floor because that's not what I want for you. I don't want you on the floor like that. And she was like, well, do I have a say something? No, because this is something that I'm telling you I don't want for you. And you're just going to have to listen to it. And so I put her bed off the floor, and we got her stuff situated. And she enjoyed it. She was thankful.
Of course.
Afterwards. But I think, I'm giving this example because I think as men, we got to take time to understand what our downlinks, I think we talked about that last week.
Downlinks?
Downlinks.
No, I don't remember that. What's that?
Okay, so here's my theory.
Okay.
In relationship theory, we have uplinks and downlinks. Your uplinks support you. Your downlinks are those you're responsible.
Okay.
So for a kid, their uplink is their mom. Their dad too, but probably going to be the mom first, right? So their job is to support whatever mom needs in order to function. Uplink for mom is dad. Her job is to support whatever dad needs. For dad, his downlink is wife. And so his job is to provide what they need to function. It's different than support.
Right.
It's providing an environment for them to thrive. The same thing for the mother. Is her job to help provide an environment for the kids, or whatever it may be. Different than support. Support is you're doing something that lets me do my job better.
Yeah.
Whereas providing an environment means I create something that'll let you thrive. And so I think for, you know, as their uplinks are because they're my downlinks, you know, I have to be mindful of what they really need in order to thrive. I know it isn't good for you to be laying on the floor, you know, can't make your bed, you know what I mean? Because, you know, it's on the floor and your room is out of sort. I know that's unhealthy.
Yeah.
So I don't care what you don't want or what's uncomfortable in that moment, because you're my downlink. I got to make sure you're in an environment that.
I can agree with that. Now, would you also maybe add to that, like, since you have girls, and this may be a little bit of controversy, and you know, I'm a girl, that it's not maybe always the wisest idea to consistently yield to certain decisions that we make. I mean, we're emotional beings. It's like, yes, I may want my bed on the floor for a week, and then you're going to be mad that you don't have a platform bed next week. So what I'm not going to do is keep going back and forth with you. I'm just going to take care of what it is that you need.
Yes.
Okay.
I do agree with that. I take it a step further. Sometimes my kids make requests that I know is going to hurt when I say no, but I need to say no. And the reason I need to say because I see something you don't see.
Typically, yes, of a parent. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But why would a decision hurt? Outside of, just because I want my way.
So, for example, my daughter wants to go on a beach
Mm-hmm.
with her friend, which typically isn't a bad thing. Like, my oldest daughter went a couple of years ago
Mm-hmm.
on a beach trip. This particular is someone who I think would put her in a position to experiment with things that we wouldn't want them to. And so the answer is
Yeah, because what you're not going to do is put me in a situation because now I got to come down there and handle some mess. No.
right. And she doesn't understand that because
Right.
she does, she don't think her friend will
They
do
never
that.
see it.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't see what I see. You have to trust me.
Mm-hmm.
You have to trust me. Your friend, I think, is dangerous. You need to trust me on this one.
My thought is, though, trust me or not, this is my decision.
Yes.
So, because I don't think that our kids do trust us. I think we've all gone through that stage where we don't trust our parents. We all thought that we were smarter than our parents at some point, So I don't really think that it should come to you should trust me. I know that they should, but they don't. We don't. We've all been teenagers, But this is my decision. Feel how you're gonna feel.
I just hate the fact that how long you may go resenting me before you realize I was right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? It may
You're
take years. This girl may have to, and I don't pray for anything bad to happen to the girl, but the way she headed, this girl may have to be strung out on drugs or in prison or something like that before you like, man, Dad, you kept me away from some.
You welcome.
But like, do I have to have a strained relationship for 20 years before she's like, man, you looked out for me?
I think that's just the role of a parent. Yeah. That is, I don't want to use the word risk, but that is the risk. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to hit this conversation quick.
Yeah.
I really and I want to send a message to the men. It's time for us to reclaim our role as head of household. I say that unapologetically. Unapologetically, we need to claim the role of head of household. And we need to do our job in making sure our home is sufficient. And not only that, but our relationships with our family is secure. We need to make sure our relationship with our family is secure. And it's our responsibility to step up to the plate and make it be known and set the temperature of the room.
Agreed. And I would then just say to the men, I support you. And that's coming from a woman who has been independent the majority of her life, okay? And I don't want it.
Right.
So real women, if y'all listening to this, let these men be men. Right. It's going to suck at first, but it's what we need.
Right. Don't let social media, the world scare you into thinking that you got to be independent and you can't allow your man to do his job. And
y'all could take that independence.
Yeah. All right. Well,
all right.
Hey, another good show.
Good one.
Yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
Good show.